In today's thrift store challenge, we are talking all things high-end gift giving. So we are going to look at some high-end stuff, but then we're going to go to the thrift store to see what we can come up with for a whole lot less. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Before we get into all of the gift ideas, if nothing else, I want to recommend buying all of your wrapping paper, your gift bags, your gift accessories, tags, boxes, all of that stuff from the thrift store because it's going to be so much more affordable than anything you will find at a big box store. A question I get asked from you guys is, how do I store everything? So one hack I saw on TikTok is to take like a laundry hamper or a caddy on wheels, and I just got this one at the thrift store. It was $4. I just washed that insert and then steamed it, and now I have a system to kind of place all of my wrapping paper, gift boxes, accessories in this caddy system. You can find really high quality wrapping paper if you just do a little bit of digging for such an affordable price point, and that includes gift boxes as well. Gift boxes, even at places like the Dollar Tree, will be more expensive than anything you'll ever find secondhand, and oftentimes these are brand new. For placing all of my thrifted gift bags, this specific caddy didn't have any hooks on it, so I just grabbed an S hook from my stash and I just placed it on the back of the laundry caddy, so that way I would be able to hang all of the gift bags that I find throughout the course of the season. Another thing I wanted to place on here were cards and gift tags at the top because that usually kind of finishes off the present. Of course, all of the thrifted ribbon that I come across, as well as bows that I find in the bins. Another thing I find in the bins is really beautiful picks that kind of just add that little extra decorative detail to presents, and also brand new with tags, ornaments are always a nice addition to any present. So now let's put this caddy to use. So for the first gift idea, it's to make a martini gift box. These can oftentimes be quite expensive from high-end retailers. Starting out by grabbing one of our 20-cent gift boxes, adding some decorative shred that I found in the bins, and some thrifted fabric. Doing this just really gives a nice backdrop to your presentation. So one thing you can always find at the Goodwill, or especially at the bins, is really high-quality glassware that just really needs a good clean and polish. So I found this set of 2 martini glasses, as well as this shaker from Aldi, added a bottle of the recipient's favorite gin, and then just kind of spiced it up with some ornaments that I found at the Goodwill bins. And I think this presentation looks really luxurious and high-end, but was so affordable because most of it came from the thrift store. A similar concept is to make a wine box or basket. Again, taking one of those 20-cent gift boxes with some thrifted fabric, I'm going to layer in some pieces that I found. So I found this tray at Aldi for $2.99, and then I also found these wine glasses that were only $8.99. And this just creates a nice base for what the big part of this present will be, which will be a gift card to a winery. You could, of course, do a nice book about wine or a nice bottle of wine, but I think doing this just kind of sets the tone for what the present will be in an affordable way. Another area to check in your thrift stores, if you're interested in saving a little bit of money on gifting, but you still want to give a really high quality gift, is to check your thrift store's book section. So for example, if you want to give some chocolates as a gift, you can add a book about chocolate, maybe add in a really beautiful cutting board. I found this one at the Goodwill bins for $1.19. I just simply removed that book sleeve and then added some chocolates from the grocery store, tied some pretty twine around it, taking some of the stems from the pick that I found at the Goodwill bins and just kind of tying that off there. Again, just adding to that presentation. Also at the Goodwill bins, I found this extra wide gift bag that was brand new, so I just layered in the book set as well as a candle and some hand soap from Bath & Body Works, and that really can kind of complete that gift. No matter which book you choose from the thrift store, a really simple but thoughtful pairing is to make or add a bookmark. So last year I shared with you guys how I made these 3 leather bookmarks using an old leather belt and using some thrifted wrapping paper. Makes for a really thoughtful but beautiful gift. Next up, I want to talk about clothing and gifting clothing from the thrift store. So everyone's comfort level can be a little bit different, but for me, in order to give it as a gift, it does have to come brand new with tags. And I would say that that's kind of hard to come across, but more often than not, I can at least find 1 or 2 things that are brand new with tags that I think someone in my life during this holiday season would truthfully enjoy. I've shared with you guys this in the past where I found this Lulu's dress that I could have bought on their website, but I ended up finding at the Goodwill. Now, my sister's a little bit taller than me, so I ended up gifting this to her. But most recently, I found this really beautiful Victoria's Secret robe that originally retailed for just under $70. So again, taking one of those thrifted 20-cent boxes, I had 4 of them total, so I tried to use them strategically. Added a beautiful brand new towel from Ross, as well as some other bathroom accessories along with the robe. I also found this really beautiful tea towel that was brand new and added some Bath & Body Works soap. And it really just complements the entire gift. Everything feels very thought out and purposeful. In addition to a kind of bathroom or spa-like gift idea, last year I made this kind of bath caddy that I just made using some scrap wood in my garage. I will link the full tutorial of this video in the description box below, but basically I cut my scrap pieces of woods down to the appropriate size for a bathtub, and then I secured everything with wood glue and some screws from the bottom, and then I added pre-stain, and then I stained it in this beautiful walnut color. This was inspired by something I saw on West Elm. Gifting that box with the robe and the towel and all of the accessories plus something like this would make for a really full and thoughtful gift idea. Next up, we are going to make a gift for the coffee lovers in our lives. So there's so many different ways you could do this kind of a gift, but I started out with taking this blanket here. I find this blanket at the thrift store and at the Goodwill bins so often, and I think A, it just looks better than that decorative shred, and B, they can reuse it after the fact. I ended up finding this Starbucks travel mug at the Goodwill bins that was brand new, so decided to add that to this gift box as well as a mug. So I find Pottery Barn mugs, I find Starbucks mugs pretty often at the thrift store, so I ended up choosing this one here that was just 30 cents at my local thrift shop, the Hartville Thrift Shop, and I think this was looking great, but I wanted to add something over top of the Hearth and Hand oven mitt. So I went to Walmart, grabbed some Starbucks coffee, just tied a pretty bow with twine, and then added some stems from that same pick that I found at the bins before. Add a little Starbucks gift card, and that really wraps up this present. In addition to that, you can also grab some placemats. These ones came from Threshold from Target that were $5 a piece, and I paid 25 cents for each of them. Grab a cookie tray from the thrift store. I found this one at the Goodwill. It was brand new with tags, originally from Home Goods for $26, and I just layered in some cookies that I picked up from the grocery store, and I think that the coffee gift and the cookie gift paired together would make for a really beautiful idea. The next kind of like foodie gift idea is to make dinner in a basket. So you can obviously do this using your high-end pieces, but I prefer to use things from the thrift store. So I found this canister here for just $1, decided to fill it with some angel hair. To place now the pasta and all of the other thrifted decorative accessories, we're going to do a basket this time. So I found this basket last year. I just vacuumed it out and sprayed it with some disinfectant. And then to start that layering piece, again, you can go to Pottery Barn and spend $59, or again, I found this one at the thrift store for $4. So I just layered it at the bottom before placing all of the pieces inside. So added a bottle of wine, grabbed a thrifted leather planter with some herbs inside of there, added some nice bread and cheese as well. And also at the thrift store, I found this brand new corkscrew that was originally from Kohl's for just $2. It fits in with our Christmas theme here. The only thing I think I should have added to this that I did not was some really nice sauce for the pasta, so you could do store-bought or make it from scratch, but I think that would also be a nice addition. Something else I think would make a really beautiful addition is to grab a container from the thrift store. This one was brand new with tags from IKEA originally for $2 though, and to make some infused olive oil. I love this as a gift idea. Williams Sonoma carries something really similar to this, and it's about $50. So if you can make this for a whole lot less, add it to your dinner in a basket, I think it would be very well received. A gift that I think always goes over smoothly for just about anybody is gifting a candle. And you can oftentimes at the thrift store find brand new candles that smell really amazing for so much more affordably than anything you would find at a high-end store. For example, I found these really beautiful candles at the bins, and I just wrapped them with some wax paper, tied some twine around it. You can of course gift this with some candle holders. I also found this crystal mistletoe ornament that I thought was so beautiful. It tied in with those crystal nutcrackers that I also found at the bins, tied it to a cutting board. Again, I found this gift bag that was a really unique shape at the thrift store, and then I just layered in all of these thrifted pieces for my neighbor who definitely loves a more kind of traditional Christmas. Last year, I shared with you guys how to make these ornament candles. I found 2 of these at the thrift store for $2 a piece. I melted down some Dollar Tree candles, added that wax to now this ornament candle, cut down the wick, and it is a really affordable way to kind of get that high-end look, but was so budget friendly. The takeaway here is basically just find a candle that you like. Maybe you really love this Hearth and Hand ribbed container, you love the scent. Look for something similar to that at the thrift store, at the Goodwill bins. Maybe grab a little glass container, fill it with matches, or you could even do this with wood bowls. Wood bowls from high-end stores are so overpriced, so much more expensive than they need to be, and you can find really beautiful wood bowls at the thrift store. And if you've kind of outgrown maybe one of your wooden bowls, or the bottom is really scratched up, I would just recommend turning that into a candle. Or in this case, I found this one and I turned it into a succulent planter. Pottery Barn sells these bowls that have succulents inside of them for a small fortune, and you can definitely recreate this so much more affordably. You can gift this with a plant mister or a watering can, and I think that that would make a really thoughtful gift idea as well. But if you don't find a box, like a gift box or a basket, try looking at the trays. And sometimes you can find really beautiful brand new trays for so affordably. I found this one for just $2, grabbed this olive tree last year for just about $4, and this candle for a couple bucks that was brand new from the thrift store, added in a thrifted book, and you can create this really beautiful and aesthetic gift for just about $10. A small scale piece of furniture that I always seemingly find at the thrift store are magazine holders. So I ended up finding this one. That one small part was broken, so I just had to fix that part quickly. I also found this little memorabilia box that was brand new and never used. And gifting those 2 pieces with either someone's favorite magazine or a subscription to someone's favorite magazine is a really thoughtful gift. Speaking of thoughtful gifts, some of you might remember last year I found this Burlwood box and I added my dad's favorite cologne and his favorite chocolates inside of that Burlwood box, and it was just a nice presentation for a gift instead of like a cheap gift box. As some of you know, my dad passed away this past June, and one thing when we were going through his things that was nice to see was, I didn't include this in that video, but I also had gifted him this notebook as well as one of those bookmarks, and I was happy to see that he was actively using that notebook I had sent. So now for my little brother, I had found this box here, and it is like a kind of memorabilia style of a box, and it was $40 originally, and I paid just $2 for it at the Hartville thrift shop. And I thought it would be nice for my brother to have some things inside of this box that remind him of our dad. So I decided to just place a picture of all of us from when they came out to visit us in Scottsdale, and just placed it in the top. And then inside of the box, when my sister and I went to pick up my dad's things, we wanted to then give kind of like from my dad, which was his wallet. So it of course had a picture of my little brother as well as all of the cash that he had on him that day. We also wanted to give him a pair of our dad's glasses, as well as some other little accessories that we found that he might find useful and sentimental. Another gift that could be really sentimental, especially if you've lost someone in your family, is to make some sort of an ornament that really honors them, or you could just make some really beautiful ornaments, gift them as a set. People really enjoy this as a gift, especially if you take the time to cut out the pictures and get it all ready for them. I think they're much more likely to use it in the future. Another thoughtful gift idea would be to gift someone a stocking with a lot of little goodies inside of there. So you can oftentimes find really beautiful stockings, especially if you just need to find one that's really good. That's a lot easier to do than if you find like a set of 2, 4, 6, whatever it may be. So I actually did like a mix and match this year for my stockings, which I've really been loving lately. I also recently came across a brand new with tags Pottery Barn stocking. The only problem with it though was that it was all already monogrammed. But the thrift store really does have so many options to choose from, so I definitely recommend checking it out to see what you can come across. And then of course for the actual stuffing inside of there, the gifts that you could put inside of your stocking. So I always keep my eyes out at the thrift store for these little pieces that can just kind of finish off a gift or could be filled in stockings. So like Play-Doh, slime, crayons, bubbles, all of those kinds of little things, if you buy them from even the dollar store, will always be more expensive than something you can find at the Goodwill bins or at your thrift store. For more of like the tween age, because I feel like that age is really tough to buy for, if you find like little clutches, little purses, little accessories for their phone, all of that stuff I find all the time brand new with tags at the thrift store. So as I mentioned, I just keep this bag, and once it starts to get a little bit empty, I'll look a little bit more aggressively at the thrift store, or if it's really full, I'll kind of like cool back on it, but it's definitely a good thing to pull from when I need to. And that really wraps it up for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments which gift idea you found the most helpful or useful, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye for now.